Think of daily life as ketamine, okay? So you've got people walking around completely dissociated because everything in their daily environment tells them to pick up the dry cleaning.
Right.
And,
Everything's fine.
well, what's on Netflix?
Yeah.
At least in the Cuban Missile Crisis, my father was driving across country. I said, you knew it was he says, everybody knew it was the Cuban Missile Crisis. Every single town that he drove through, he would stop and the TV would be on. People were talking about it, right? We are in some world where, and I think that we have to just talk about the fact that the United States is attacking ordinary, intelligent human beings by depriving them of any basic knowledge of what is actually going on. We don't know what happened with the origin of COVID. We have no idea about Epstein. We don't know what's going on with the vaccines. We don't understand the source of the inflation. We blinded ourselves from looking at the M1 monetary aggregate when the Fed pumped us full of cheap cash. We have no clue how to resolve something as dumb as the Epstein. To whom did Ghislaine traffic? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, can't find it. Sorry. Bye.
So this is what's causing, in part, our friends to go crazy. Several years ago, Sam Harris had good input. Jordan Peterson had good input. Brett Weinstein had good input. Most of them, I don't think, have figured out that they're starved for information, and I'm going to say something very heterodox to the heterodoxy. The heterodoxy was never meant to take over for the orthodoxy. The orthodoxy was something that needed correction. The purpose of the heterodoxy is to say, you're 12 degrees off, you're 3 degrees off. Mm-hmm. What do you do when you're like 168 degrees off? And like the fine tuning that heterodoxy can do is not sufficient to correct the ship. And what's happening to us, and I said this to Sam at a dinner with Dave Rubin right before Trump took over. I said, Sam, if you don't take a different approach to Trump, he's going to blow out your circuits. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, for every ambiguous thing that you can't resolve with Trump, raise 2 to that power. So if he puts 3 ambiguities in a series, you have 2 to the 3rd possibilities of what could be true. That's 8. He can create a decision tree that explodes faster than you, Sam Harris, can think, right? There's no way you can get to 2 to the 4th possibilities on a decision tree. And Sam, I don't think he understood the perspective. And so what happened was we were all swimming in this world where nobody could tell which end was up. Nobody can resolve anything. And I think a lot of this has to do—
I'm not sure I understand what you were just saying there.
Okay.
This decision tree thing that Sam, he was going to blow. Explain that.
So let's imagine, for example, that I'm staying at a local hotel.
Okay.
And you don't know whether I'm staying at the Hyatt or the Four Seasons.
Okay.
And you also can't figure out whether I'm leaving at 1 o'clock or at 2 o'clock. And you don't know whether I'm going to be arriving by a white Prius or a black Escalade. You now have too many possibilities as to, well, what's the drive time for those 2 hotels is different. I don't know which car I'm looking for. There are 8 possibilities now of what could actually be happening because those are all independent.
Right.
When Trump created ambiguities, or now the Biden group is creating ambiguities by not telling us what's actually going on, you don't know how serious this East Palestine, Ohio spill is. Is this something that's going to burn off pretty easily, or is this getting into the corn crop that's going to be found in all processed food? I don't know. I don't know how
It's a very good question.
Right. Okay. So just every day you're being assaulted by completely unnecessary ambiguities.